Welcome to the Full Nelson. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Burris Fast Fire 3. This should be a pretty quick review because there's not really a whole lot to say about it. In my opinion, this is an excellent option to put on an optics-ready handgun, such as this Glock 19 or any of the M&Ps or any of those guns that are coming optics-ready. Especially for the money, I think it's a really good red dot to decide if you like having a red dot on a handgun. You don't have to worry about it breaking on you or anything like that because Burris has a lifetime warranty, which is awesome on this Fast Fire 3 and on all of their optics as far as I understand it. So you can buy it and try it. If you don't like it, you can resell it and probably get most of your money. You could even buy a used one on eBay or something like that and try it out, see if you like having something like that on a handgun. And if you don't, you can sell it and probably get most of your money back out of it because of that warranty. Now this optic features, I believe, 4 brightness settings. The first mode, and it only has one button, which turns it on here. You press that button the first time and it turns it on to a mode that will detect the light around you or the ambient light, and it will adjust the brightness accordingly to give you the ideal brightness setting. I found that to be perfectly adequate in all of my shooting, and that's pretty much all. Now the next setting will turn it on its maximum brightness if you press the button again. And if you press the button again, it goes down one setting from that, and one more time it goes down after that, and then the next button press, it shuts off completely. So you basically just spam that button to cycle through the modes. If you needed to use it in self-defense or something like that, and it's not on, all you've got to do is press it one time. It's going to adjust the brightness setting for you for whatever the conditions are, and you can use it right there with the first button press. So I think that was well thought out on their part. I think that's a good design. I haven't had any issues with the optic holding up. It's been plenty robust. I have banged it around a little. As you can see here, I've ripped off all the finish there. And I haven't had any issues with it holding zero. I shot it on this AR pistol, and I've shot it quite a bit on this Glock 19. With that said, I mentioned I think it's a good optic for a handgun. I do not think it is a good optic for a rifle. And the reason for that is because there's just much better options in the same price range for a rifle. You can get something like a Hollow Sun or something like that that has far superior battery life, in my opinion, is more robust, has more features. That I just don't think it's a good choice for a rifle or for a shotgun or something that's going to be heavier recoil that you want it to be, would want it to be real robust. I guess now that I mentioned that, if you think about this being mounted on a handgun and that slide getting snapped back and forth, that's probably about as hard on it as anything else. But I just don't believe that something like this Fast Fire 3 would be as tough as something like an Aimpoint T1 or H1 or a lot of Hollow Suns offerings. Or anyway, that's my opinion. It wouldn't be my first choice for something like this. Not only that, but from Amazon or any place you might order it, it does not come with the riser mount to be the adequate height on an AR. I can use it like this, but you really have to press your face down hard against the cheek rest. I didn't plan on running it this way. I bought it for a handgun, but I thought I'd at least give it a try like that. And that mount is really expensive. I think it's over $100. So by the time you buy the red dot for $180 and then you throw another $100 into a mount, you know, you're getting up there in price to where even if you're only looking at the $180 for this, you can get Hollow Suns in that price range, and in my opinion, they're just better. So, great for a handgun, not great for much of anything else, in my opinion. I would say you could run it as a backup sight, which some guys do. You know, I explained earlier in one of my videos about the Spitfire 3X. Some of the things I like and don't like about it. One of the things I don't like is the fixed 3 power. You could take something like this and mount it on here to have a backup sight, and it may be perfectly good as a backup sight or something in that situation. But anyway, yeah. So in my opinion, this red dot is on par with Vortex's Viper red dot, and it is also as good as Vortex's Venom red dot. I believe it's slightly cheaper than either of those red dots. Some of the drawbacks I have seen with it compared to those other two is that when you mount it on something like this Glock, I believe those other two sit slightly lower on the handgun than this one does. And this one I actually bought some special iron sights to co-witness with this, and it sits super high. I mean super high. It sits high enough that the iron sights I had to get to co-witness were super tall. And anyway, great red dot to see if you like red dots. I don't know if I would trust it to carry on my concealed carry handgun to use every day for self-defense and stuff like that, which I considered. That's one of the reasons why I had backup sights, is because I thought even if I don't have time to use the red dot, I can just pull it out and use my iron sights. But I found those iron sights sit so high that for me, who's used to almost aiming, just muscle memory or whatever, that I'm used to aiming on lower sights, to aim in a higher sight took some doing. There's a learning curve to that. And I did get more and more used to that, but to me, it's just not for me. Some people really like it, and I'm sure I could get used to it if the red dot sat a lot lower, to where it almost sat the same spot as my regular irons do, as standard iron sights sit on a Glock. I think I'd be a lot bigger fan. But anyway, I'll be making another video about that later, and talking about the pros and cons of having a red dot on a handgun, and explaining to you guys all about all that stuff later. So that's my opinion on the Burris Fast Fire 3. I think it's a great red dot to start. If you want something to keep on your handgun besides just for recreational shooting and stuff like that, or hunting or something, and you actually want to keep it on for self-defense, I think you'd probably want to spend more money and get something like a Trijicon RMR or a Leupold Delta Point. I think they're more robust than this is, especially something like the Trijicon RMR. You can get versions of those that you don't even necessarily have to have batteries in them. And to me, that's this optic's biggest drawback. It's why I like Holosun and a lot of the other offerings better for a rifle, is because I think they may be slightly sturdier, but also the battery life will last a really, really long time with something like an Aimpoint or a Holosun, and you just aren't going to get that out of this. Now, some other things I guess I didn't point out that I'll go ahead and point out, or that I do like about this better than some of the other offerings for red dots, is that the battery cover is on top of the red dot. There are some companies that are making red dots that you have to unmount the red dot in order to put a battery in, because the battery compartment's on the underside. That's stupidity, in my opinion. That's just ridiculous. Who wants to lose their zero every time they go to change the battery out? Well, the battery lasts hundreds of hours. I don't care. That's just dumb to me. And then the elevation adjustment is here, and the windage adjustment is here, and they include a little flathead screwdriver you can use to adjust that stuff. So anyway, so that's my review of the Burris Fast Fire 3. I think it's as good as it gets for the money right now for a handgun red dot. I didn't have any issues with mine. They have a great warranty, so if you want to try it out and see if you like it, it's a great option. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave those in the comments section below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.